that's the name of the game, because I think the calculated risk is a huge part of playing the quarterback position. And so you want to be able to take the smart chances and know that if everyone's on the same page, usually when you have that mentality of I'm going to give my guy a chance and my guy's going to protect me on the other end of it. But it's the ones that you know we're just throwing out there, or we're just saying we're hoping. Those are the ones you want to eliminate. And I think the guys are doing a really good job now that everybody has a much better understanding of what the heck's going on out there. I think we're getting a lot more of the calculated risks, and they're getting more reward for it too.
Luke Antonio Pierce talked about Aiden or Gardner taking charge, taking the bull by the horn. How do you feel like that's going to manifest itself in this kind of a setting?
Well, tomorrow starts pads, right? And so I think that the speed of the game just naturally picks up, and I think that's part of it. They both did an outstanding job of taking that off season to learn it, take the little break, let it digest, and then they both have been hitting it running right now really well. Their command, their control of everything is so much better, and I think everybody around them feels that.
With the Pats going on Tuesday, how much more will that give you an evaluation of where this team is with the offense?
Yeah, way more, right? That's the game. Now we're starting to play the game, and there's not this, kind of hold up a little bit because you're trying to protect your teammates. You get to go play, and that, like I said, the speed of it all speeds up. Everything happens faster, and you got to make good decisions. And when there's pressures, you got to be able to make adjustments or get the ball out of your hand. And at the same time, we got to protect it, and so all that good stuff. So we get, those are the opportunities you're looking for, and we got a great defense to go up against every single day. That's going to really give us a great evaluation.
Luke, noticed Cody a couple of times teaching guys. How big of a blessing has he been for you to be explaining to guys what you want?
Yeah, his perspective, his opportunity to go through it for 2 years has been great. And then we have the other part of it is we have some other really cool perspectives to go with it. And so us being able to throw it off of Cody as well, he's his leadership has been tremendous in that room. The guidance, the pulling along of the young guys, and then being like, the steady hand for the other vets. Cody's been outstanding.
How different, Luke, or how similar is Devontae to when you had him back in Green Bay?
He's always had that competitiveness that's like unmatched, and that hasn't changed. I think the cool part about where he's at in his career now, the leadership part of it, like Devontae's never been a guy who has asked anything of somebody else that he wouldn't do himself in his leadership role. And now getting to see him hold other guys accountable to it while holding himself accountable, that part's been really fun to see. That evolution of him kind of taking the reins and being the older guy now has been fun to see.
Has he been more of kind of like an instrument for you in terms of teaching this offense because he's familiar with it?
Yeah, I mean, not just what we have done in our past, but things that he's experienced, since we've been apart too. The time when I was coaching in the receiver room, he taught me as much as anything. The feel of a route, or the keys that I'm looking for when I'm running a route, when I have to make a decision, like all that stuff. Those are conversations, and then you create something that you can both lean on each other, and so you're putting an installation together, and you're asking, you're explaining something, and then you're letting your players have an opportunity to say, what do you guys feel about it, or how do what are your expectations of this? And he's someone who's experienced it, and we're always going to listen. And I think that's a big part of someone who's experienced as much as he has.
Luke, you obviously want to win every rep, but you're going against arguably one of the best defenses in the entire National Football League. So how does it make you better? Even you may not see all the wins you want on reps, but the fact that the level of competition is so high.
Yeah, that's the excuse me. That's the whole key to this thing, right? You're going through a process, and when you call a play, there's an expectation of a play. And when you're going through installations, you're not necessarily scheming up the play to defeat whatever exact thing you're expecting to get. But at the same time, you get really cool challenges within the play. And when guys are able to respond within a play that's not maybe perfect for that particular front or particular shell, and they're progressing it, or they're going through it, or making great decisions within it, and maybe, it's not the greatest opportunity for the explosive, but now we went and found a completion instead, or the back, this wasn't the exact front that we wanted, but you went and got four instead of having a negative run. All that stuff gives you the confidence to be able to call those types of things, and not kind of have like this reservation of like, oh, what's going to happen? And you start building confidence in those things, because it's not always, you don't always want to have the premier look, right? yes, that's the ideal for a play caller to have the premier look. But when these guys can perform the play when it's not the premier look, now you're really cooking.
Going back to the wide receiver room real quick, you know what Devontae brings to the table, but what have you seen from Jacoby Myers so far?
Yeah, I mean, like just the ultimate pro, so smart, so savvy, the toughness part of it. Like, we can move him around and put him wherever we want to, and he can handle all that. I mean, the consistency every single day, the mentality, the positive energy that he brings to the whole group. I mean, just a stud.
What's your assessment of Aiden and Gardner both, how they've handled everything?
They've been outstanding. The meeting room part of it, the two of them, I can't even ask a question in the unit setting without them two answering the damn thing first every time. It's like guys, I know you know. Now come on, let me hear some stuff from the other. They've been awesome. They're on top of it, and I think they're just getting more and more comfortable with it. And they're like the best of teammates too. I mean, these guys are helping each other, helping other guys around the room. I mean, I'm excited to see where these two take this thing.
And I think we all know how good the tight ends can be. It looks like they've been making plays out there. What have you seen come from all of them, on the whole group?
Yeah, the whole group has been awesome. I think that's we stress and put a lot of pressure on them with how much stuff that they have to know and they have to be a tight end, they have to be a receiver, they have to be a tackle. They have to be a running back. So they got to do a lot. And like in springtime, I think you saw there was times where it was maybe like whether they didn't understand or whether it was a lot, and then they came out here since our first walkthrough that we had. They've been crushing it. So those guys are awesome. And then the more flexibility that they give us, the better we're going to be.
What are your impressions of the receivers for the fourth and fifth spots? Those guys competing for their open spots, I think, for that part of the roster.
Yeah, that's going to be a really cool competition because you guys have seen this guys have been making plays. There's been a sprinkle of guys here and there, and I'm really excited. And I keep saying the pad thing. I think that's a big part of this as we go because we ask our receivers to get physical, and they got to go out there and prove that thing against, like we've talked about, against a really good defense. So I'm excited to see how they handle that part of it.
Talk about putting on the pads. Obviously, you'll get to know a little bit more about your run game when that happens. But so far, what have you thought about Zamir White, and also how's the other running backs in that room really helped him out as well?
Yeah, they've been great, right? You got two vets that have been in the system, and things kind of come natural to them. Z's first time in the system, picking it up better every single day. When he gets that rock, there's a cool explosiveness that I can't wait to see people bouncing off of him as we get the pads on. And then Dylan's doing a great job too. I mean, he's someone for that to be that young and to be able to pick up things with not as many reps as some of the other guys, and it's just comes natural to him. So I'm excited. It's a really cool group.
Luke, great coaches have said that players sometimes make the decision on playing time by their performance, by their practice performance. Did you see a rookie like Dylan Lowry kind of making a compelling case to get on the field sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I hope so. And he's off to a great start. Like I said, like the game comes natural to him. He's got a great feel for it. So like decisions he has to make, they come to him naturally. As far as responsibility wise, he doesn't have the airs, and so that's really cool to see from such a young guy.
Usually early in training camp, you see the defense is usually off to a quicker start. But in year one, with a new team or a new offense, when you kind of look at things to start thinking.
Yeah, I think that we're on a really good pace right now. I think, like we've said, there's been a really cool competitiveness, like the give and takes of both offensively and defensively. But in the end, the pads come on now, so the physicality part of it's going to stand out starting tomorrow, right? And so that part of it's going to be the most important. And we know what kind of a style of play that we at AP wants to bring to this, and that's what we want to be. And we hope that as you guys come out here the next couple of days, you feel that.
The pads are especially crucial for the linemen, but a guy like JPJ who's missing some time now, how difficult is it will be for him to catch up, and how valuable is the time he's missing?
Yeah, that stinks, because he was doing so well. And I think the mental part of it, he doesn't really have much of an issue with. But it is. You got to go out and rep it. And it's as much as anything knowing what a combination feels like with the guy that's next to you, with the tackle, the center. I mean, so that part of it is as much as anything that we got to catch up a little bit on.
Luke, when you come to Dylan, he's small and from New Hampshire, so you don't have the level of comparison of play. How important is it for him to get a fast start with pads on to show he can handle the physicality of the NFL?
I don't know if there's like an exact measurement, but I think when you watch guys like him, I would anticipate that that's not going to be an issue. The feel that he has, the spatial awareness that he has, those guys know how to avoid the direct hits. Those guys know how to make the most out of what's presented to them. And so I'm excited for it. You don't truly know, but I anticipate him being able to, that not being an issue for him.
You asked about the tight ends. Any early impressions of Brock Bowers as far as the learning curve, how he's doing at the camp so far?
Yeah, no, he's like I said, he's probably him and Mike have both. We've asked a lot of them right from the gate and didn't kind of hold back, and they both came to training camp ready to rock and roll and handling a lot of the stuff. And when they're comfortable, it's kind of really cool to pick. Like everybody else feels comfortable. They kind of like set it. They're telling the receiver to get on the ball. They're telling the receiver to get off the ball. They're making sure everyone's set before they motion. Like they're in control, and that helps quarterbacks. It gives everybody else a lot more comfort, and they've both been nailing that stuff. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.